Hello everyone and welcome to CWC Season 7, F2 Season 7, Round 5. One day I will get that right, but personally right now I am Pepsific212, ROP, Yuki, you can call me whatever you like, but today we're here for a French GP here in France. Yeah, France. But anyway, right now you can see that we're about to get ready here, just shortly people are readying up. But while we wait for that to happen, I will give a quick update on the standings after what happened last week. After a performance of survival, you could say, Kenobi, who had the points lead, is able to extend his gap by well over 24 points over Lazy the Twig after getting back-to-back race victories. Lessie the Twig, as he has gone through a name change, and my standings update thing was not changed here. Lessie the Twig is currently in second with 50 points, and Maddie rounds out third with 47 points. And then after that, you got Scanny at 36 and Smitty at 34. But looking here today, as you can see, that Kenobi and Scanny are not here, which means there's a good chance that Lessie the Twig, having a strong performance along with Maddie, could easily leapfrog and close the gap on Kenobi before Austria next week. Now looking at the constructor standings, McLaren has pulled a bit of a pull away here, but they have been slowly caught. McLaren is currently at 81 points with Williams at 74 and Alpine at 74 with Kenobi and Assassinbot, and Lazy Twig and Jay Leakey at 58 with Kiki and TG Carson at 49. And that would be this rounding top 5 with Red Bull at 38 points. So that's a quick update of your drivers and constructor standings. I think we're already about to go. That's why I started around 3. We are still just going to wait here. Hope we get everything all nice and settled. Take a quick look at the chats. Make sure everything up. There we go. 4. Just seeing the lobby host is lighting up. Yes, they have. So I assume, yep, now we are starting. Yep, we are getting the queue for ready up. So to take a cue from NASCAR, start your engine. Well, I thought we were about to start our engines, but someone just de-readied, so yeah. It is a track that's not the favorite of a lot of drivers in this game. Seems like a lot of people aren't big fans of it, and it seems like in the community not a lot of people are the most thrilled with it. And I'm not saying that the people that didn't show up because it was France. It's just odd timing, you could say. So yeah, we are now about ready to start here. Got 13 seconds to go. We do have a new driver in the field, as he did join the commentary booth while I was waiting. Nestle's B54. He wanted his ESPN shoutout, and there you go. Here's your ESPN shoutout, Nestles. Other than that, everyone else is pretty much a season regular. Has at least started one round, and some are looking for the first points, while others are trying to get inside the top 3 or top 5 in the drivers today. And speaking of drivers that have not scored points, Nestle's, Reds, Clausen, Assassinbot, and Feared by Gaming have not scored points. And with a 10-car field, if Gaming, Assassinbot, and Nelson can all finish, they will get points. So it is a race, metaphorically survival, and if you can survive, you will at least get a point. So take that to the bank. So anyway, as we are just now getting the last things, there is a chance of rain. France can rain, so it's not like in previous rounds, but luckily it's been a lot of dry rounds, so there's a chance. It could be a dry race as well. But for right now, it's going to be a very, we don't know 100% what the conditions are going to be. It could be very rainy, or it could be very dry. I guess you could say I'm already struggling, but trust me, when the cars are on the track, we'll get nice full action. But anyway, as loading is now complete, we are now going to wait, and there we go. Ooh, it's a very dark sky. It could be rain on the way. We'll have to wait and see. But that is very foggy and very dark. And we'll just check the tires, see if, yep, they still sound soft. So technically speaking, it is still a dry track. So we'll have to wait and see. But this could change for the better or the worse, depending on what you want to see here today. France is already a pretty iffy circuit in the driver's minds. And if it rains, I don't think it will change a lot of people's opinions on making it go up the grid. As we do see a car leaving, let's hope we can get them pulled up here. For some reason, I can see them in the distance, but it won't let me grab them. Bit odd. Put the track map on. It is the Aston Martin of Exelic or 11. There we go. Why it took a second to pull them out, I'm not 100%, but here we are. We'll ride aboard with Exelic, only driver that's gone out there, and you can see an Alpine. I think that is going to be Assassinbot. Yes, it is. It's only Alpine in the field. So those two will take out the field here first, and I guess we'll ride aboard with Assassinbot here. Exelic. And we'll just kind of let her guide us around the circuit for a little bit. And maybe switch around. A lot of drivers aren't heading out quickly, though. So it is worth noting that 11's gone out as well. It is worth noting, though, that it looks like rain may not be on the way. Because if it was raining and it was going to rain the next 5 minutes, you see most of the field trying to scurry on out there. But only 3 drivers have made a break for the entrance pit lane, and it looks like that is that. So definitely rain is at least down on the way, but look at these conditions. You can see a little bit of blue sky, though. So at the very least, there's a chance the weather could dry, or at least be dry throughout the session, but especially with those darkening clouds, it could go one way or the other. So here we go. We're going to ride on board Excel, keep the track map on. We'll wait till she gets into Sector 3, and we'll give you a quick little rundown of the French circuit, just in case you're not 100% how it is. But we'll have to wait till she gets around to start her lap, because it's not the best to start halfway through a lap. We'll let her get her first lap going here, and we'll ride on board. So we'll wait for her to go through the last couple corners here. About to finish up. And here we go. So here we go. Let's ride on board here with Dixelica. She's going to take the start-finish right here. Going to go down the long straight, start-finish right here. And she's got to brake heavily around the 50-meter board. Turn the car in as best she can. Hit the apex and try to keep your throttle in about fifth. Let the car kind of sliding. Come on out. Don't go too wide or you will get invalidation. Then the long run down the turn 3, 4, 5. Brake around the 50-meter board. Kind of pinch it in. Then you got to be quickly on here. And you want to kind of half-shoot the car here. Maybe sacrifice the entry there to get a good entry here. Because you want to kind of pinch it in and get a good turn and turn in. Then you get another good turn in here for 5 and 6 sweeping right, and then you're gonna have another long straight here. We're gonna see a majority of your passes happen here today with DRS activated. This is probably one of your major pass points here and just off 9. So Zealot going down long straight. You're going to see some drivers maybe throw it out here. Going to brake right after the 100-meter board. Turn in. Going to just get it close as you can. Again, want to let the car roll just a little bit to get a good exit point, but you also want to hit the apex. And you're going to come off 9, and then you're going to have a long run again. This is probably where the other major passing opportunities will happen. Without rich fuel, it'll be a little bit harder to make a pass, but you can have seen some drivers in the past make passes here. Then you're going to brake right about the 50-meter board. Hit it in. You want to wait about halfway point to kind of slow it down. Get in about the 6th or 5th gear. Let it roll. Pinch the apex, and then come on out. Then you're in the end. Start of Sector 3 a little bit back there, but you got a couple more corners to go. Turn 12, which always kind of throws me off a little bit because you always want to get in the power a little too early and the car will either spin or go wide. Then you got 13, 14, 50. There's the pit lane entry right there, so drivers will have to wheel off there. And the last corner here, brake in, get about the 2nd, maybe 1st gear, get go rotation, get the cart punch out, and you got a long straight DRS, and that would be a lap around France. And Exalc will put down a banker time of 1:31.307. Can it be beat by a Savsbot? We will have to see here. It looks like it looks possible he could beat it. We'll see the run down the line. It's going to be a 1:31.32, so not going to beat it, actually. It's going to be about a second slower. Behind them is now 11, so a couple drivers have made a break for strategy here, so we'll keep an eye on everyone. We'll slide on around. So we do have 11 up next, and then I believe that is going to be Maddie on a lap. Let me just make sure. No, it's actually Smitty. So Smitty's next. We do got 11. Yellow flag, that is actually, I believe that is what I just said, Smitty slowing down. But here comes 11. Will she be able to put her on pole? Yes, she will. Put her up to P1 right now, and the Aston Martins, you don't say this often, have a front row lockout on the grid. Next up is Maddie, so he'll be the next one on a lap. Behind him is Jay Leakey, who's also on a lap, and that will be those two. And then I believe that is going to be Exalc just behind them. So again, not a lot of drivers making a break for the circuit here. We'll see if either driver can put it up. Now, Maddie has been, actually, I'd say Smitty, Smitty or Maddie been on the roll. I think Maddie's been on the roll, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Maddie's been on a bit of a roll here in CWC here. So he is someone that is definitely looking to have a strong performance and definitely looking to slot the car up and get his first victory in CWC. But here comes Maddie, trying to capitalize and get maybe pole position here. We'll see what he puts out. It's definitely going to be pole. It's going to be a 1:30.092, and Jay Leakey behind. Can he improve? As you see the car, I think that when the Astons go a bit wide, he'll go up to P5 with a 1:32.747. Then you got the Aston of, I think, Exalc again. No improvement for her. She's about a second down in her times. No improvement. Next up, you got Collins and Lesty, but Collins and Lesty are on low down laps, and evening to you, Pepsi. Evening to you, Lesty, as well. Just took a quick look at the chat. But here comes Lesty about to start his lap, along with Collins. Actually, I think Collins may have pulled. No, Collins is still going as well. So yeah, Collins is farther back, though. So yeah, Lesty just started his lap. And then on that, we do have Smitty come through the last third sector, so we'll see what time he can put on the board as well. Got his first podium in CWC last week, and almost had a win in Baku, but I probably doesn't like me keep bringing it up. But yeah, almost had a win in Baku, but sadly, it wasn't in the cards. But here comes Smitty. Can he make a front low lockout of McLaren? We'll have to see as he comes down the line. Looks good to be jumping up the top spot, and it is. It's good. Actually, I thought it was. Timing said 1:28 there, but it's only a 1:31, so maybe a bit of a glitch there in my timing and scoring. So only going to be good for P4, but still a pretty all right lap. Gonna check the rest of the field. We do got Collins about to start his lap. Behind him is, I believe that is Smitty, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's actually Maddie. I gotta remember the names. I don't think Maddie is on a competitive lap, though. We'll see if he pulls the hard right. Then we'll check back with Lesty. So we'll see here if he's gonna be able to make anything happen. We're gonna see if he takes the hard right. No, he is taking the hard right. So that will be lap done for him. Assumed he was on a cooldown lap. Most drivers only take one attempt. But we'll see if no more. So anyway, we're right now on board with Lesty as he goes to the third sector here, trying to get that Williams on pole position, looking to get back in form after, all right, past couple rounds, but maybe left some more points on the table than he probably wanted to. So we got Lesty, and then behind him we do have, I believe, Feared by Gaming as well. So we'll see what both the Williams and the Ferrari can do. And if we take last week as a note, we know George Russell got the Williams up pretty far and Sainz as well. So both drivers trying to mimic their real-life counterparts. But here comes Lesty. He is going to put down a P2 with a 1:30.248 just off pole position, and Feared by Gaming was on a lap, but he left. So hope he can get his connection fixed, because he's got a chance to get at least a point here today if he can at least survive. But if his internet is kind of on the fritz, it's not going to be a good sign. Now we got Collins, who is currently on a lap as well, so he's the only driver on a lap per se, because Lesty, we'll keep an eye on Lesty, but I think Lesty is on a cooldown lap. He's about to hit the end of... We'll keep an eye when he gets in the sector. Yeah, his time just said he was kind of up on his time, and he's just invalidated, so his time is now done. So, no improvement for him. So here comes Collins in Sector 3. We'll see if he can put something down. Put his Red Bull higher up the grid. Maybe and slot it nicely up in the field. So we'll have to see if Collins can do that as he goes to the last couple corners. I know I keep cutting on driving Sector 3, but it looks like I thought he was going to pull in for a second, but it really went wide in that corner. So not really enough to do anything with. Collins off the last corner here, going to take the long run down the straight. It looks at least going to be in the 130 range, but how far will he be behind pole position? It's going to be a 132.056, so that will slot Collins into P6 on the grid, bumping Assassinbot and Jay Leakey down a spot. So that a couple drivers have now made their out turns here. We got Jay Leakey, Exelic, and 11 all about to start the laps next time by. And with 9 minutes to go, if we assume that it's about, give or take, 1 minute 30, it's about 3 minutes plus out lap. You can, if you want to do 2 laps, you need to leave with about 5. So they'll come back and they'll have, if they do 1 lap, it will be about 6 minutes left. If they do 2 laps, it will be about 4 minutes left. So both drivers currently out there, if they head out there now, will have a second attempt to try something. So we can see 11 goes a little bit wider, but she is on an outlap, trying to get the rubber down. We'll check the telemetry, make sure they all got there. Yes, definitely said not burning any of that. But yeah, we'll have to see again how they slot in. Here comes Nelson out on a lap as well, so he'll be the last driver. And Gaming has not rejoined, so we are waiting for Gaming to rejoin, possibly get a time down, or else he'll be starting P10. So 11 will be the first of the current drivers out there to put down a time. So we'll see here, and here comes 11. Looking currently in P3, high performances, I think, we'll cut back to Nelson. Yeah, he has looped it just off of 6, so, or just before 6. So a little bit of a mistake there by Nels, and hopefully B54. I'm actually going to call him B54 now, because it looks like Nelson, but I don't want to call him Nelson. It's like, oh, it's Nels. So B54 is currently in 9th, and he'll have to try to get it refired, but he's luckily on an outlap, so he'll have time to get going. But 11, currently, as we do see Maddie jump up. No, not Maddie was there. Someone just jumped to my screen, but I was going to say Maddie, but Maddie was still P1, so kind of threw off my eyes there for a second. I think Collins actually improved. Yeah, Collins improved, so yeah, that's what threw off my eyes. Collins went up to P5. So anyway, back to 11. 11 currently off in the long straight here in Sector 2. We'll keep an eye on her and see where she slots it at the end of Sector 2. Keys here for times are up or down. Currently, she's on a 1:31.015. As now Maddie, our pole runner, has also started a lap as well. So almost everyone is going out right now. Only driver in the pit lane is Assassinbot and Feared by Gaming, who is not currently here. But here comes 11. Going to come out to Sector 2. It's right about here. We'll see. She's down a half second on her times. So we'll keep an eye on her. But I think right behind her is Smitty. So his time will not really be competitive. Other than that, we got, well, because he's on an outlap. Then we got Jay Leakey here. So we'll keep an eye on Jay Leakey. See at the end of Sector 2 if he's up or down. He's currently at a 1:32.747. So if he can jump up, he is looking to at least be well over a second clear. So we'll see where he is currently. He is well over half a second down. So if that time could hold, he would be about P7 right now on the grid. Looking through the rest of the field here. Going at that situation, we do have Leslie the Twig. He's on an outlap. Maddie behind him, who's invalidated and took in a cardboard sign with him, so that time will not count. So back to 11. She slots on, and she will not improve, but she does salvage some of that time, though. But she'll still be P3 with a 1:31.015. Back up to Smitty, who's about to start his lap. Then we'll cut to next up would be, because now Collins is coming in. Jay Leakey, I believe. Yeah, we're going to look for Jay Leakey. There he is. Jay Leakey, here he comes to the last right. He's but still half a second down, at least according to his time booklet. So we'll see where he slots it up. Looking good for P7, maybe higher if he can get a good drag down the straight. And it's going to be P7 with a 131.866. Next up is Alec behind her. Just maybe a started lap, maybe invalid, not 100% because the time did not improve regardless. So no improvement for her. Next up is, I believe that is one of the blue cars. It's not Collins. It's not Assassin Bot. It's not Jay Leakey, so it's got to be Leslie the Twig. Yeah, he's about to start his flyer as well. So, Leslie about to start flying as well here. So, back to the field. Jay Leakey hasn't validated. We'll go with we'll go with kind of try to find the whole field or try to sort here. So, Smitty about to come out the end of Sector 2 here, so we'll see where his times are. Currently at P6 with a 131.647. It is going to be, he's running about the same times right now. Hopefully, he can find a little bit more time in Sector 3. So, we'll cut back to him in a second. Feedback Gaming has just rejoined. So, hopefully he's got 5 minutes. He'll have some time to put down a time and hope he can put down something competitive. Next up behind him is Exelic. Exelic is about currently a second down on our times. Oh, not a second, about 1/10 down on our times. So, looking to improve. Could possibly jump her teammate 11 if she puts down. B54 is just going to put a 133.491, but probably hopes to go a little bit more competitive with his times. Smitty has pulled in the pit lane here, so actually his time looked good, to at least improve, but did not feel comfortable because it wasn't invalidated, at least on my screen. So, did not feel comfortable with the time. Leslie the Twig is currently invalidated, so his time will not be improving right now. He'll have to go one more time around or pit to come back in. Now, something that may catch my eye is maybe Smitty's thinking, per se, that maybe he's thinking, as we'll wait, I'll finish that point. We'll see what Exelic puts on the board here. She is going to put down a 131.2, no improvement for her. But to go back to my point, maybe with about 4 minutes ago in qualifying, maybe she is just thinking, or he is thinking, along with maybe Leslie that pulls in, is thinking, pull in, come back in and get 2 more attempts at it instead of going around and trying to limp around and be caught out and have to do 1. And that's now Leslie coming in. I think that's pretty much the same strategy. Because if he goes around for 1 more attempt, he'll have 2 minutes to go, and it'll be a put or a shut-up lap, and still having a chance to have a burn lap just in case you want it. But Exelic pounds on, but Exelic is not going to be improving because she's slowed down in corner 1, and 11 as well is on a slowdown lap as well. So now the driver will improve. Then we got Nelson, B54. B54 does look down this time, so we'll see how he pulls out Sector 3 here. It doesn't look the most competitive in the world, but we'll have to see how he slots in. We'll see. He's not taking the hard right, so this time will count. But, yeah, considering he's going to be, well, he's around 28 here, so if he gets a good run here, but, yeah, no, it's going to be a slower lap because the line's there, and he's going to be at a 134, so it is a slower lap here. It's 2 seconds slower, actually, and it's going to be a 136.655. No improvement by him. Nelson, Fear by Gaming is now currently out there trying to put down a time in his Ferrari, trying to maybe jump at least a little bit higher here, so B54 has to hurry around quickly to get in the pit lane to try to put down another time. Exelic at 11 probably also should put a little bit of giddy up in their step because they may want to get down there if they want to do 1 more attempt to get a fresh set of rubber on and go for 1 more run. Matty is now headed out there, and he's going to be starting his out lap. Collins is on his out lap. Smitty's on his out lap. Jay Leakey on an out lap. So a lot of drivers are coming out with 3 minutes to go. So they're banking on maybe taking 2 attempts at this. So we'll have to see how they slot in here. So we got Matty about to start. So we actually got Fear by Gaming. So he'll start his lap first. And then we'll kind of switch around here, see if Fear by Gaming can put down a commit time. Because the next car up across the line in about maybe 10, 15 seconds is going to be Matty. So we'll see how our pole sitter currently can, if he can improve on his time. And there goes a sad spot as well. So every driver is going out there, except right now Leslie, 11, Exelic. But luckily they should have another attempt here with 3 minutes to go. But there goes Fear by Gaming. He has validated. So now we'll ride on board with our pole sitter and see if Matty can put down a time. Next man up, you could say, because next 2 drivers up, as now Fear by Gaming has retired, so does not feel comfortable putting on another time here. We'll quickly just cut to Assassin to see if he's actually crashed or if he's pulled it off. I placed on track, so I think he has crashed. Trying to find a Ferrari. Yep, he has crashed. Or he's actually, no, he's pulled off. Doesn't look at the wheels off. So I'm not 100%. I'm not going to call that if he's pulled off or crashed. Probably get corrected. But look now, we got Matty with a purple Sector 1. He's about 69, he's about 1/10 on his times. So we'll see here if he can slot 1 more check. Yeah, I can't get a good look at him. So Fear by Gaming could have crashed, or he could have just pulled over. I'm not going to say one way or the other. But Matty coming through Sector 2 here, trying to keep his nerve. I think that's where he's invalidated last time. Looks relatively good here. So we'll see if he's still looking good at the end of Sector 2 here. Activation point is right here, so we'll see. He is currently about a 10th up, so he's up a 10th. So right now, he's actually slotting the break into the 129 range if he can hold his nerve and make the gap about 3 tenths between him and Leslie. So we'll check back on. Next car up would be, as we'll actually let him finish his lap here, because the next two drivers up are B54 and Smitty. B54 is on 3-lap old soft, so I doubt his time will be that competitive, but I have been proven wrong before. But other than that, Smitty as well. We'll check his activation point if he can quickly get here, but I don't want to kind of cut off Maddie's lap here. So here comes Maddie through the last couple corners here. We'll not switch back to Smitty, so here comes Maddie. Can he improve? Minute 30 to go. He probably has one more attempt if he wants it, but he probably wants to do it in 1, so it's going to be a 1:29.678. That is 4 tenths up on his times, well over half a second. So put Maddie well clear of Lesty, and now that puts the pressure on Lesty and the rest of the field to try to put down a more competitive time. Now Smitty up 3 tenths on his time here, definitely wants to try to get a little bit higher to help McLaren and the constructors. With only one Alpine here today, they definitely gained some good ground on the Alpines. And with Leslie and J-League here as well, Williams can catch. They have to have a good day here today. Smitty has to be, you could say, I wouldn't say the right-hand man, because he's a kind of fast cookie, but he has to be the good right-hand man to Maddie in this case. So here comes Smitty. Can he put down a more competitive time? It is going to be a 1:31.713, so he lost a lot of time in the third sector, and that will not be enough, but he does have enough time if he wants to go again. Maddie has not elected not to go again, so his time will stand. Next up is Collins, coming to the last corner, 2 tenths up, looking at least get a little bit close to Excel. Can he get up to P4 in his Red Bull? He can. Yes, he can. He actually gains another 3 tenths, and he'll be in P4. Just behind him is the Williams of Lesty, I think, starting up. No, it's the other one of Jay Leakey. I think it was. But anyway, here comes Lesty about to start his lap. We got, gonna quickly look here. Yep, Jay Leakey just crossed the line. He's not, no improvement for him. Just had to quickly confirm that. Assassinbot has invalidated. He'll have to go for one more lap, but with 8 seconds to go, he will not improve. So he is no better than going to start in this grid than P8. So Lesty has kind of pushed to the death of the nail. So he's up, and I think he is only one of the main drivers on a run here. So we'll kind of flip-flop through. But we'll keep an eye on Lesty's Sector 1 time. So the activation point's right here. We'll see where he is currently. He is about holding steady. That's not going to be enough to get him pole, so he's going to have to hurry up and find the time he lost and gain accordingly. Back to the field here. Smitty up, he is on a cooldown lap, so his time will not be improving. Collins is up on his time, so Collins could actually kind of slap a little bit higher. Can he jump up the P3 on the grid? We'll have to keep an eye on him. Behind, I think, Jay Leakey. We'll see if Jay Leakey get the activation when he's on kind of a slow lap, so he will not probably be improving, bearing a miracle. Here comes Lesty. Lesty at activation 2 point. Where is he currently? He is still slower, but he does have a purple sector 2, but that's probably because the game's glitch. So it doesn't look good for Lesty unless he can find a lot of time in sector 3. This lap may look a little bit bogus, but Collins was doing all right, but Collins has spun, so any chance of Collins improving has gone out the window. So Collins is done. We got Lesty in a flyer. We got Exelic on 11, so Exelic will cross the line first on 0-lap old soft, so this is a time. Can she re-jump Collins? It looks pretty good all right so far. Can he break into the 130s even? It's going to be not enough. No improvement for Exelic. She'll finish P4. Here comes Leslie down the long line. Does he have enough to jump up the pole position? It is going to be not enough. He will, I think, improve, but not enough to jump anywhere close to Maddie. So Maddie in his McLaren will get pole position again. I believe that is the second pole position. Let me just confirm the stat sheets here. But there's your results. Maddie will take home P1 in his McLaren. Lesty in second, 11 in third, Collins in fourth, Exelic in fifth, Smitty in sixth, J-Leak in seventh, Assassinbot in eighth, Nelson in B54 in ninth, and Feared by Gaming in 10th. Going to quickly just check the stat screen that luckily are one of our main drivers here. Smitty's actually welcomely provided us statistics. So trying to find podiums on here. Always points gained. That's F1, but that wouldn't even help me. It was wins, podiums, drivers of the day, pole position. Yep. Toby Tiger's got one, Red's got one, and Maddie X actually got one as well. So, yep, this is Maddie's second pole position on the season. So, good for Maddie here today. But yeah, one other big shock I could say is I don't want to jinx a certain driver here, so I will not say the person's name because I don't feel like jinxing the poor fellow. But they are currently slotted pretty high up the grid. And they're looking, after kind of the past couple weeks, a little bit of some struggle. Hopefully they can bring the car a little bit higher. Because in that team, they've been kind of the slower of the two. So hopefully they can slot the car up a little bit higher. But regardless, here we go here. Loading is complete. We'll see if it's a dry day in France or a wet day in France. It is... Oh, it's raining. And remember, Park from 8 is on. So if some drivers did not check their setups, it actually makes me think how many drivers did put on a wet setup there in qualifying, because this looks pretty heavy. So this is not good for some drivers here. And yep, This is going to be an interesting one. So the question mark of the day is how many drivers have wet setups on, how many drivers have dry setups on, and if it's going to dry up during the end of this race. So we'll have to see how it slots up. So anyway, here they come here. Looks like, I'm trying to check, that looks like full wets to me. We'll quickly check the tires here. Those are not the tires. Those are the tires. Yep, full wets indeed. So yeah, a lot of drivers here may be caught up by the elements. So this is going to be a long one, folks. Get the popcorn. Get ready. Because this is going to be a fun one. Because rain always brings out some chaos here. And I don't see anything really in the chat right now, so the drivers are probably, hopefully some will do better than others. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit chaotic here. As I don't know if this is going to be a full rain race or not, because we do not have TAS or anything, so I will find out as fast as you guys as well. But right now, full wets indeed. But we'll quickly run. Actually, I'll quickly do the League Racing TV plug here because, again, I like rations in my food bowl, and I do like me some food. So anyway, if you like what you see, why don't like and subscribe to League Racing TV, where there's tons of other leagues that run throughout the day and throughout the week, including on Thursdays, this coming Thursday. There's a TTML, the main TTML league is running this week. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, you can watch BNL. And on Sundays, it'll be back after a 1 week break, sadly, because I was not be able to join it last week. The TTML Sim League will be at Belgium. So yeah, TTML is going to be at Belgium. BNL, I'm not 100% where they're going to be. And TTML Sim League is going to be at Belgium as well. And then as well on every Monday is CWC. So plug done. We do have someone rooting for Lesty in the chat here. So we're going to quickly, as I quickly try to throw out a prediction as they do go through the last couple corners here, I guess I'll throw out a quick prediction here. Honestly, I say that Maddie Lesty will take the first 2 steps. I feel like they're pretty strong in qualifying, but honestly, I feel like we're going to have a surprise third one. I don't know who it will be. Actually, I feel like this is going to be a little bit chaos. So, as we see by Fear by Gaming has lost the back end. So honestly, I know it's safe, but I'm going to go Maddie, Lesty, and Collins. That will be my top 3. I'm going to bank on those 3, but honestly, I'd probably give them the internal jinx, and I kind of want to not jinx some other drivers here. So those will be my top 3, but honestly, I expect some chaos here, and I think we're going to get a new first-time winner. Because 8 out of the 10 drivers here have not... Actually, 9 out of the 10 drivers here, if I'm not mistaken, have not won a CWC race. So only driver in this field that has won a race is Lesty, and he won the first race at Bahrain. So I feel like we're going to get a first-time winner here. That is what I'm feeling. But looking at the AWS predictions, it looks like it's going to be wet throughout the whole race. So this is going to be a little bit chaotic here. So I'll go Maddie, Lesty, Collins, my prediction, as we wait for the last drivers here to slot in, and we will get ready for this very wet French GP. So here we go. Here, going to wait for the 5 red lights. And away we go. We go here. It looks like Maddie going to get a good start off the line here. It's going to be very chaotic in the back there. It looks like an Alpine kind of clips the wall there. Could get some damage. Maddie gets a great start. And it looks like Zella could possibly... 11 could throw a spot here on the inside. But Collins is going to hang around the inside side. Now inside. And it's going to jump 11. A little bit in the back here. Looks like we've got a little bit argy-bargy. But it looks like Jay Leakey and Fear by Gaming are off. As long as they keep the cars straight, they should still get points. But that is not what they want to see here today. We got Lesty on the back of Maddie. Collins is able to get around 11. And Exalic in 5th. But everyone else is able to get relatively clean throughout the section, excluding Jay Leakey and Feared by Gaming. And I think maybe Sasspot did kind of clip the wall, but I don't see any damage off him. Everyone taking it very gingerly around here. Don't want to be a hero and make a very aggressive move in the corner 1, but you definitely don't want to let your driver get away. Looking at one of my meteorologists here has just kind of gotten my earpiece and said it could be dry by the end of the session, so it will possibly dry out, at least according to someone on the ground. Exalic has passed Smitty, made a great pass. Smitty tried to pass Exalic, got it halfway done, and then Exalic got the spot back. Back in the pack here, I think, yeah, Jay Leakey kind of got a little loose here. Doesn't look like he's got much damage, but definitely off the 8 ball here. He's going to have to get re-going. So the field is getting a little bit spaced out here. We've got Smitty still in the back of Exalic, and could possibly set up a pass here. So we'll have to see how it slots in. And we'll see how it's going to work out in accordance. So just quickly check in the chat there one more time. Just make sure nothing new has happened. But everyone has gotten at least relatively clean. So no retirements, unlike the past couple rounds. Ooh, as Leslie gets a little bit of a snap there. Definitely fighting a very dry setup, you could say. That was a snap and a half. So Leslie gets it refired at the very least, or at least keeps it pointing in the right direction. But now about half a second behind. Remember, DRS will not be activated until it dries up. So just want to let the new drivers know here just in case. We got Collins, we got 11, we got a mixture field. You see a little cargo squally off there. That was B54 very struggling under the traction here, trying to get it re-good. You can see he's struggling as well in these full wets. But no real major opportunity to see a pass. Everyone's kind of spaced out a little bit. Only driver that's kind of close is Smitty on Excellic. So we're right on board here with Smitty and see how he kind of runs the conditions. As you can see, 11 goes a little bit wide and gets it back on track, but went a little bit wide there. So definitely she is trying to fight these conditions as well. I know I keep saying fight these conditions, but knowing that it possibly is going to be dry at the end of the session, we know a lot of these drivers probably have dry setups on at the very least. So, at least some of them do. So, it's a situation where they may be struggling. So, that could explain why maybe Smitty 6. But, oh, we see Maddie, as our leader, has spun the car. And I don't think he got any help. So, he's just lost the back end along with Assassinbot. But Maddie has lost it from the lead here. And that is not what you want to see from the McLaren driver. He's probably kicking himself in the headset right now. And that is going to allow Leslie to take the lead. Honestly, probably what happened is he was about 8 tenths ahead of Leslie. So, Leslie had no impact with that, especially with no damage. No instance between the two of them. But yeah, Leslie just made a light mistake there. I'm sorry. Maddie made a slight mistake there and lost the back end, similar to what just happened to Sassabon in that corner. Especially with little to no traction, you can easily kick the back end out, and that cost that. So Leslie going to be 2 seconds clear of Collins and is right now in the lead by well over 2.5 seconds. 11 now on the back of Collins and Smitty as well. Smitty on the back of Excellic. Just quickly check the race direct here. Sorry to cut off. I just want to confirm just to make sure. Yeah, no collision. So that was a lost spin, or at least Stewart's didn't think it was a collision. So yeah, no mistake, but that was just Maddie kind of losing on his own accord. So B54 has caught the back of Smitty, and 11's on the back Collins. So we'll have to keep an eye on both these battles here. We're about to start lap 3 here today. If either driver can maybe jump out and make something happen. As you do see B54 just slowly on the back here. Going to possibly make a move here. Going to get a better exit here. Now less than the fast lap of the race. And here comes Nelson, B54. Can he make a pass to Smitty? He'll make pass him like he's standing still, you could say. And B54 up to P5 and Smitty down to P6. So we have seen a lot of snaps to understeer and oversteer here. Some drivers are still struggling in the conditions here. So Leslie is not home free yet. He could easily kick the back end out as well. But we'll have to wait and see on those accords. So anyway, yep, 3 seconds is the gap. Leslie's feeling good in these conditions. Collins in second, 11 in third, Excellic in fourth, and everyone's pretty spaced out. Only people close right now is 11. 11 did get a little bit of snap there, but lost some time. But it looks like Collins is going as well. So they are kind of back and forth here. But the major battle we have is the McLaren, Smitty, and B54. And now B54 gets 3 from all the warnings. First driver to get 3 here today, and is going to be the first driver to get the naughty stool, you could say, by getting penalties. But doesn't look like Smitty is close enough to make a pass happen here. He'll have to tuck back in line and just try to bide his time here, especially in the wet conditions, as now B54 goes a little bit wide there. It's definitely going to get at least the seating track limits there, because he definitely improved his time, so that's another warning for him. So he'll have to kind of keep straight up and fly right. If he's not careful, he'll have 6, 9, or even 12 if he can't get it straight up. Now we can see that Maddie's got to refire. He's about 1.4 behind his teammate here. So it does raise the question is, if Maddie does catch Smitty, again, they were in communication, I remember if last week. Actually, no. I'm not upset they weren't in communication last week. I'm thinking of another league, I think. But then that goes B54 a little bit wide there. Can't Smitty. I'll hold that thought for a second. As now Smitty is going to kind of get close here again. Can he make an opportunity to make a pass here? Because it looks like he's the Alfa Romeo is pushing a little bit too aggressively here. And, he goes pretty wide there as well. So Smitty's sensing a pass here as they are slowly reeling in the next half of the pack here. I was going to say he almost got attacked there, but there goes P54. He is lost. You can see he was very struggling in the conditions there, and he is lost in the inside wall there. He'll get it refired. I don't think he's got damage, as Maddie's also going to pass his teammate here, as it looked like he had close. Yep, I was going to say if Maddie got close to Smitty, maybe Smitty will let Maddie go, knowing that Maddie's a faster driver, and that is what, I wouldn't say that's what happened. That pass looked pretty fair to me, but yeah, Maddie's definitely faster in these wet conditions than Smitty is, so maybe a little bit of a team order here, or at the very least, but that pass looked pretty clean in my opinion, so no team orders there. But I would say if they were not, maybe there could have been a chance. But anyway, back to the back of here. Leslie has opened up a gap to Collins. He is 5 seconds clear almost, and Collins is under pressure from 11 and Excellic. So we do got a little bit of a dogfight back here. Maddie's 2.5 behind Excellic, so a little bit of a back and forth here. Definitely could see anything happen. I'm going to take a quick sip of water here, even though there's a lot of water on the track. So we got 11. Again, about a second behind, and that's really the closest battle we have right now. So, really not much else to cover here. Being kind of a small field here, everyone's pretty spaced out, so just going to kind of wait here to see passing opportunities. It's going to be still a long, long race. And again, anything's possible. We saw Maddie lead in this race. He made a mistake. So it is possible for a driver to just kind of make a slight mistake and be behind the 8 ball like Matty. But Matty has at least got a long time here to kind of dig himself back out. So no harm, no foul, you could say. So we are waiting again, just as now 11 is, again, it looks like 11 is slowly gaining in the kind of the S section here per se. So you have the other sector 3, and that is B54 who's crashed. We'll see here, we'll ride on board here with Sass, but Collins decided to pull in pit lanes, and he's actually going to make out like the cat that ate the canary, because he's going to pit quickly and get in. And good to see, you can see Collins crashed back there, B54, sorry, and he has hit the wall on the inside, and that's race over for him. Collins going to come in for a set of intermediates. Looks like the changeover period was just there. So Collins, Matty, and Smitty all coming in, along with Fear by Gaming, for a set of intermediates, and they are going to make out pretty aggressively here, as they are going to be able probably to jump the wet runners. As we'll see if everyone else, just to make sure everyone is making the jump for a set of intermediates. So Feared by Gaming, Smitty, Matty, Collins, all on intermediates. We got Sasspot, Jaylee coming in as well. So they're all going to be coming in for a set of intermediates. So you could say that the only driver here that is kind of, I would say, not made a mistake here, but at the very least, kind of caught out by that safety car coming at the worst time, is Leslie the Twig, and both Aston Martins. Because now they're going to come in, and they're probably going to be... Actually, they do get to pass the safety car, though, so they do actually get to... So they will have to go around one more time. So actually, they may make out all right, because if they were stuck behind the safety car, they would be screwed, metaphorically speaking. But luckily, since they do get to pass the safety car for one more lap, they will probably be able to hold their positions. Because, well, the gap's about 20 seconds, so it'll be interesting to see. I'm not 100%... Well, one of the Aston Martins will be able to hold their position. The other one probably will fall. But Leslie will definitely be all right. He'll take out the lead again, because 6 seconds clear, 23 on that. The gap is about 30 seconds to the leader, so he'll be fine. They're not held up by the safety car, but 11 and Xalc, one of them is probably going to fall a little bit because of the double stack that's going to happen. So we'll see here, assuming that everyone else is pitted for intermediates, the changeover period has occurred, so Leslie will definitely be taking the hard right in the pit lane along with the top 3. But the question mark of the day is how much time will be lost? Can they come out still in the lead? And 1, 2, 3 respectively. So here comes Leslie, definitely taking the hard right here. Don't want to speed now. That would be a very bad mistake, especially when you have 6 seconds here. Oh, he gets it locked down just barely. Almost takes out the 50-meter board. Oh, sorry, the 50-mile-an-hour board. Or kilometer board, sorry. I should probably stop being a dumb American. 11 taking the hard right, and Exelic as well. They're going to double stack here. Try to space them out a little bit too much here, but we'll see how they slot out. So keep an eye on the right of your map here. We'll ride on board with Collins, and we'll see how it sorts out. But Leslie's definitely going to come out in the lead. But the question mark of the day is, will both Asses be able to hold their spot? Yep, 11. Leslie's already leaving right now. He has made the change. 11 has not got her new set of tires yet, along with, now 11 has 2. Excel's now in the box. So it looks like Leslie's definitely going to come out ahead. 11, it could be close. Pit lane just on the end here. Keep an eye on the right of your screen. Can Collins get out ahead? He will. So Collins will get the jump. 11 will be next. And then it's going to be Matty, and Exelic will come out just behind Matty. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So Collins is actually able, with that quick thinking move, is able to jump. Actually, I think he was ahead of 11, so never mind. Yeah, he was ahead of 11, so he's able to hold his spot. Then 11 comes out in 3rd, Matty in 4th, and Exelic in 5th. So interesting strategies all about here. Everyone is on a set of intermediates, though, but Leslie still holds the lead. Is now behind the safety car, so he will just sit there and wait. As I will turn back on stops. There we go. So, yep, Leslie is coming in. Leslie is currently in pole position. He's not coming in. He's already came in. Collins is next. 11 is 3rd. Matty 4th. Exelic 5th. Smitty 6th. Feared by Gaming 7th. Jay Leakey 8th. And Assasspot 9th. That rounds out your top 9 here today. The only driver that currently has a penalty is Smitty. Now, B54 did as well, but since he crashed out, that is now a mute point. And Smitty has, I believe, 3 for multiple warnings. So yeah, long race to go here. Only on lap 6. Safety car should be coming in next time by, so we'll be ready to go on lap 8. And we'll be ready to go. I'd say more, but like I said, with safety cars, sometimes with one person in the booth, you do kind of run out of things to say kind of quickly. And with only 9 cars in the field, everyone's pitted for a set of intermediates. There's no real change strategy here. The rain has not let up yet, and it's probably not going to let up for a little bit. So we are kind of in a holding period here. Let's see, make it work. So yeah, we are just going to kind of wait here. If you are in the chat right now, I don't know how many people are currently watching. My analytics say 2 people, but it could be more, it could be less. If you're on the chat right now, why don't you let us know how you're liking this race so far? Do you think Leslie can hold on? Do you think Collins, 11, or the rest of the field has a charge? Can Matty rebound after that mistake early and make something happen? Only one way to find out is keep watching and let me know your predictions in the chat below. Checking in on the other, we'll do a quick little interruption, as you like an ESPN game break, you could say. Checking in the other GP right now, the F1 division in CWC that's currently racing as well at the same time, so go check that out when you do have a second as well, or check the replay. There's completely a different changing, as now Fear by Gaming gets 5 for a collision with Smitty, as I quickly had to check back here. We'll get back to our game break in a minute. Yep, they did also give one to Smitty as well, so Smitty and Fear by Gaming, if they have to pit again, which according to our weather meteorologist, there will be a set of softs coming near the end or dry tires, so they will have to serve that 5 seconds for both of them, so that's not what Smitty wants to see here today. Anyway, though, back to the D1 race here, you could say the F1 race. It's a completely different accord here, as that is a very, very dry session. Not a cloud in the sky. I'm not upset if qualifying was wet, but the race itself is currently dry. And right now, currently leading the way is, as I wait for my phone update here, is currently... Yep, JT Gleto is currently in the way with Imadi in second and Jamie Morris in third. And with a very dry race, there's 18 drivers currently in the field here, along with some other drivers that came from the F2 ranks, including TTM King. He's there currently here today. And a few other drivers, Charlie Gogdon as well. He's currently in 16th. And a few other drivers that have come from the other TTML leagues, including Neymar Gaming, currently in 4th. So it looks like a very interesting race, as it looks like there's a little bit of a train there as they're about to hit pit stops here. And it looks like we got a good battle here for first, second, and third, as Imadi is currently under pressure from Jamie Morris for second, and JT Legato is currently in first. But anyway, that is your game break update, presented by Your Name here. And we are ready to go back here, presumably with the safety car here, and ready to restart this race. So a little update for you, and here we go. No, we still got to wait for the safety car to come in, but presumably it's going to be coming in this time by... we'll have to wait and see. I assume everyone's in the field here, so definitely will be coming in on lap 8 here. Yep, there's the queue. So we'll be coming in. Leslie will currently lead the field with Collins. Now, the next question is, since we do not know the weather, but it will be dry, the question mark of the day is, will it dry out? When will it dry out? When will it switch over period B? Will it be with about like 5 or something laps to go, or will it be within another 6 or 7 laps? And that could open up another ball of strategies here, because if it were to dry out right now, you probably could make it on a set of hards. If it drives out the next 4 or 5 laps, you probably can make it on a set of mediums. And if it goes about another 10 to 15, you can make it on a set of softs. So when it dries out, we'll definitely raise a few questions. So here we go. We'll ride on board here with 11. We'll watch on board to see if Collins, when will Lesty make the hard turn here. We'll see when he decides to back him up. He does like to go late, so he knows the kind of the game here. Probably going to hold him up into the corner here on the last corner. Going to wait till he gets off the exit here. There he goes. Maybe the wet conditions didn't want power, but he just caught Collins. Collins got into power there a little too quickly, and he's lost the back end. So I guess you can say the mind games I was thinking, waiting till the corner, the power up, has really screwed over Collins, and it also screwed over Jay Leakey. So both drivers have spun in corner 1, maybe a little bit of cold tires. That'll bump 11 up to second, and bump Maddie the third. Everyone else up a spot as well. So big mistake there by Collins. Looking good, and now have to be behind the 8 ball as well and try to get caught up here. But if any driver can make it, he can as well. So now Lesty gets 3 for multiple warnings. And that is, again, not what you want to see from the Williams driver. So we'll have to get a move on quickly, because if Maddie, 11, or anyone else can fly the flag, that 3 seconds could really be on pressure, as Alex Zalek gets a very aggressive tank slapper there. We'll get the car replanted, but we'll definitely be kind of cautious on the conditions there, as now Fear by Gaming has to kind of go a little bit wide there as well, and it's got to be under pressure here. Can Feared by Gaming in the Ferrari got 0 points so far this season, past Exelic for 4th? Yes, he can. We'll see if he can hold it. He'll close off the door here. Yes, he will take the spot here, and 4th will go to him, as now it looks like Exelic does take that little turn-in sign there and hits it off the racing surface. Maddie on the back of 11 as well. Got a little bit of a close field, you could say here. So pretty much spaced out field here accordingly. Maddie about 5 tenths behind 11, and Exelic about 5 tenths behind Feared by Gaming. So the question here is, can Lesty open up 3 seconds to negate that penalty? It looks like Maddie does go a little bit wide off the corner there. Doesn't get as good of an exit, you could say. I take a quick second there to just think. As other than that, though, we do have a bit of a break where Sassabot's far off that pack there, and now goes to Sassabot. So kind of a commentator's curse, you could say. He does spin it out. Going to do some donuts here. We'll get a 10 from the Russian judge. Collins up to 7th, and Jay Leakey will not get to pass the Sassabot yet, but maybe we'll make a move. Back up to the battle here in the top position here. Maddie has kind of lost touch from 11. Feared by Gaming in 4th, kind of catching along with Exelic. So 11 is currently kind of leading the second place train here, you could say, as now B54 has left the session. We are now down to 9 runners. No, we were already down to 9 runners, but he's now left the session, so we basically have 9 people in the lobby. Jay Leakey on the back of Assassin Bot here. So you can definitely see blue skies coming. The rain has come down. It's still raining, but blue skies are on the way, so the changeover period may be closer than we think. Again, hopefully for 2022, they do add an online, something with spectrum mode, so we can find out when the conditions will change. But Maddie, about 6 temps down here. Not enough to really make a lunge at 11, but definitely getting closer. Lesty has gained 3 seconds on 11, so he's right now still de facto leader of this race, with that time penalty in mind. Feedback Gaming slowly reeling in Maddie as well, along with Lemon, so it's kind of a bit of a train breakaway here. But remember, Feedback Gaming has 5 and Smitty has 8, but those penalties will be certain pit lanes, so it'll be highly unlikely to be able to get removed on game. So sadly, those penalties will be probably held. So sadly, that will be something they can't really much make an argument for. So here comes now it looks like the rain has stopped. There's no more rain on the circuit on lap 9, but it's still pretty wet, so the changeover period is coming. Once the DRS has been probably enabled, that's the changeover period, and it looks like it will be sooner rather than later here. Again, Alessi is about 3 clear, but remember, in these tricky conditions, if you put it on a dry line, you can go a little bit slower, or you can loop the car. Remember 2011 with Button and Vettel, where Vettel was on a dry set of tires, went a little on the wet set, and lost the back end. Kind of same corner here. If you push a little bit too hard in these conditions, even though it's drying, you may roast the tires, overheat the tires, and really hurt your line, or even spin the car. As now Assassinbot has got 3 for multiple warnings, put him up to 3 as well. Maddie, though, kind of biding his time here, but again, with Feedback Gaming so close behind, if Maddie is not going to move on, that Ferrari driver, as I always love to say, will be the next man up, and will try to force something and make something happen. As now he gets 3 for multiple warnings. He is now currently up to... he's up to 8 right now, so he's currently tied with most penalties right now with Smitty, but he'll be able to take that 5 off when he pits, along with Smitty. So here we go. Can Maddie get a good run here on the straight? Checking telemetry here. Leslie's got 25, 11's got 30, Maddie's got 41 in ERS, Feedback Gaming has 30, Excelic has 68, and Smitty's got about 90. Smitty loves to save his ERS along with Collins. So top 5, all pretty close around the same ERS length. Maddie's probably got the best, and there's the ERS enabled. So we're probably going to see pit stops happen about within this lap or next time by. The question mark is, who will be the first driver to take a risk here and jump in, and which driver will probably hold on a little bit longer? So we'll see here, 11, we'll see here, because 11 could probably use that time to jump in. Yellow flag sector 2, that Assassinbot has looped it, so he'll get it refired. No caution, no safety car, so no neutralized field here today. Lesty, we'll see if he's going to pull in. It still looks pretty wet here. I see no dry line forming, so I doubt anything will happen here, but we'll cut back here. That looks like Maddie going to try to make a pass there on 11, but it's not going to be enough. Just goes a little bit wide in the rainy conditions, and it's going to allow Feedback Gaming to slide over, and it does look like Lesty's pitting. 11 will be coming in, Feedback Gaming coming in, everyone is taking the hard right. Exelic will stay out because wants to avoid the double stack, and Smitty will be coming in, so the only driver staying out right now, just to confirm, is going to be him, and Collins is going to probably bank on maybe one more lap here. So those are the 2 main drivers staying out. We'll see here, Leslie's putting on a set of hards. We'll try to quickly check the tires here if we can, if I can ever find. There we go. Exelic staying out, Collins staying out. We got Leslie on a set of hards, 11 on a set of hards, Maddie on a set of mediums, Feedback Gaming on a set of softs, but has to serve for a broken wing, and going to be on a fresh set of tires, so that's probably going to hurt him dearly, and Smitty on a set of mediums. So different strategies here today. Jay Leakey and Assassinbot as well. Going to, presumably going to be coming in. We'll just see what tires they decide to put on as well. Softs for Jay Leakey, Assassinbot, a set of mediums. So, different strategies. We got Leslie. Top 2 will be coming out. Top 2 is now Exelic really pushing. That's actually Collins, my mistake. Going aggressively hard. Those tires are falling off quickly. And they... I see why Exelic didn't pit because of the double stack, but I'm not 100% why Collins decided to pit. Because that track now looks bone dry. And they are losing a lot of time accordingly. But, oh, that is Lesty who's looped it. He has lost the back end, and that's going to allow Maddie to sneak on by. That is not what Lesty wants to see here today. He's done something similar to what Maddie's happened. And if I had not taken a guess, he probably did something similar to Maddie on the different conditions. Lesty has lost the back end. And especially if you have 3 seconds, that is not what he wants to see. And he's done something similar to what happened to Maddie on lap 3, and he's been caught out. I don't think the track's wet, where you could say that, but maybe he went a little bit too wide and got caught in a little bit of a wet patch and lost the back end, but the track looks too bone dry for that happens. Maybe he just lost the back end on accord, but that is going to allow 11 to be right. Maddie passed 11 on the mediums, and Leslie's now 7 behind this, as now Exelic's going to pit along with Collins. Got a little confused there. Exelic pitting right now, Collins pitting as well, presumably going to take tire choices. Maddie is going to be on a set of mediums. He's going to take the lead. 11's going to be a second behind, so now Maddie's looking good at the very least. But Lesty just has to keep his head in the game here because right now he's under pressure by Feared by Gaming, but Feared by Gaming does have a 3. We'll see where 11 slots out along with Collins. Maddie just sets fast lap of the race. Because of that spin, I think Exelic will probably come out ahead. I would say come out ahead, but it looks like she's going to come out behind Lesty and Feared by Gaming. So definitely shows that the one lap on intermediates has really kind of, I wouldn't say screwed, but definitely hurt the two drivers stayed out on the intermediates one extra lap. But Exelic probably thought the double stack was going to be more damage than that. But consider the fact that Lesty just spun, that maybe it would have been better to maybe go in for the double stack. But here comes Feared by Gaming all over the back of Lesty because of the tire advantage, and he's going to make the pass probably work. You're definitely going to try to hang on the inside here. Going to probably make it work. Can the Ferrari pass the Williams here? He is. Oh, Lesty around again. Looks like they touched wheels by wheels, and Lesty is out of the race. That is just a pain to see. That is race over for Lesty. They touch wheels, and Lesty goes hard on the inside wall. That is wheel off. That is race done. And I honestly don't think that was dirty. That was just a racing incident because Feared by Gaming was all over to the right, and Lesty just kind of went a little high, and they just touched. Just a racing incident. And as far as I could tell from my angle, that looked like a racing incident, but Lesty is going to be kicking himself because that was good points he could have gained on Kenobi. And now with Kenobi unopposed, he's definitely at least looking good here today. At least hold on to at least somewhat of a cushion. But with Maddie now being about 25 points back as well, if Maddie finishes, he would be, it's kind of a two-horse race at the top two. But every driver is bound to have one bad race. So it's not going to probably be any consolation for me saying this, but let's just take this as, I wouldn't say a learning experience, but just I would say take this as a mistake, put it behind you, I would say, and come back ready for next week at Austria. So look at the bright side, at least your points leader is not currently here, so you will have time to jump back. It's only 25 points. It's a long season, so every driver will have at least one bad race in their CWC career. But anyway, now I have butchered that metaphor. Back to the battle for the lead here. We got 11 really staying rubbered on the back of Maddie. Considering that Maddie is on a set of mediums and 11's on a set of hards, you would think that Maddie was able to kind of pull away a little bit quicker because of the different conditions. But per se, 11 is really holding on here, so they have a really competitive setup here, you could say, and really able to keep close here. They love how that car's planned, or maybe they're just a big fan of France. Behind them, Feared by Gaming is 7 behind. Exelic 3 behind that. So right now, as they stand, the top 3 is Maddie, 11, Feared by Gaming, because Feared by Gaming's time penalty is not enough to negate. However, Feared by Gaming will have to pit again. There's no way he'll probably make it on the end on those softs, as now the sun is definitely coming out. 11 now gets 3 for multiple warnings. That is going to be a lot easier for Maddie, because Maddie now doesn't have to push as hard. As 11 gets a tanky there, and it looks like, again, sun is definitely coming out here. It looks like the F1 race, you could say, well, how much sun's currently out there. But, yeah, Maddie doesn't have to push too hard here. Just keep the car competitively clean, don't get a cut, and the race may be yours. So we're going to be on lap 14 here. Maddie sets the fast lap of the race. The next question is, though, is that we know for a fact that Feared by Gaming and J-League, you're probably going to have to pit again. I just don't feel confident those tires are going to make it the remaining another about 14, 15 laps. I just don't think they're going to make it there on the soft. They'll be 18-lap old softs. They're not going to make it 18 laps. So we know Feared by Gaming is trying to get as much of a gap as he can, and then pits. We do have the L-Flex Sector 3. That is a SAS spot that's looped it again. He'll get it refired and just try to get it pointed in the right direction. So we have but other than that, though, J-League gets 3 multiple warnings. The next question is, can the mediums make it? At certain circuits, I think the answer is yes, but honestly, my knowledge of France is not the strongest when it comes to tire strategy, so I'm not 100% if those mediums will make it. Thinking about it logistically, just because we didn't have that good comparison, it is kind of a easier track on tire wear, so I assume the softs can go maybe about 10, 11, and then considering that the mediums can probably go, I think the mediums will make it. They may not be the freshest, but I feel like they will make it. The hards definitely will make it. So we know 11 and Exelic will make it to the end as now Feared gets multiple warnings. The next question mark of the day, though, is can the medium runners make it? And I feel like saying 80% yes, but I think there's a 20% chance that maybe they'll be struggling or maybe they'll be so slow that they may get caught. But we definitely know the hard runners will make it to the end, as now we're about to start lap 15 here today. So we'll see here. Again, no real other gaps. Everyone is pretty spaced out here, so I really have nothing to commentate on action because we do have someone in the chat saying the hard runners will have a big advantage. I do tend to agree with them. At the end of the race, they will have a strong advantage. I do agree with them, but I just wonder as well because there's only 2 hard runners, and I don't want to be mean in saying this, but they're all right pace, but I would say if you put them on, as now Excel gets 3 for multiple warning as well, take a quick look at the penalties. They also have to worry about the penalties as well, with only 2 drivers not having penalties are Collins and Maddie. But back to my point, I know right now the fast driver on track is Maddie. So, and I'm reminded of the race I did, the CWC race, not CWC race, the TTML race at Silverstone, where if you're fast enough and you get the right tire strategy, you could play it out. So I just think Maddie could hold on those mediums, but I'm not 100%. But we'll have to wait and see. That's the joy of racing, is I'm not 100%, and we don't have AWS predictions to let me know. So right now, if Maddie has to pit, that kind of throws the win to 11. But if Maddie hangs on, which he's probably not going to try to pit, he's going to try to hang on for dear life. Maddie's looking good. So right now, he's got basically a 6-second buffer. A 6-second buffer this second, and he's got about a 10-second buffer for the Ferrari in third. Welcome back, Big Boy Juwan. But yeah, I do agree. The mediums should make it if he doesn't put too much load, especially with no pressure. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But it's just going to come down to how he is on the tires. And I don't have enough data on Maddie's driving style to kind of make an assumption here to say how those tires make it. But I do think he'll be good. But again, we'll have to wait and see. We do see conflicting opinions in the chat, though. That's very interesting to see. But anyway, though, on lap 16 here, we got about 11 to go here. Sorry, 12, my mistake. And, yeah, we do have a yellow sector that is sass spot around again, and he has reset the track here, which, again, I know in the old rules that was a penalty, but, again, no harm, no foul, I guess, is now Collins also gets 3 for multiple warning, so the only driver not to get a penalty yet is Maddie, our current leader. Everyone else has gotten 3 at least once. So the question mark is, how aggressive is Maddie pushing? So yeah, again, it sucks sometimes the commentary here, again, like I've said, is that sometimes there's not much to commentate. Everyone is 3 to 4 seconds clear. So I know we keep speaking hypotheticals, but that's really all we got here, because with gaps and everything else, we just got to kind of speak hypotheticals, because unless a safety car comes out or Smitty kind of catches Exalic here, that's the closest battle we have right now. That's all we can really speculate, is if the tires will hold. So yeah, anyway, we'll be now 11 gets 3, so that's really definitely going to help Maddie here, as now Maddie's got basically a 9-second cushion. So even if those tires fall off, 9 seconds is very hard to overcome, you could say. So it's looking even better for Maddie right now, considering his 2 main rivals are basically about 10 seconds behind him on track. So Maddie, again, doesn't have to worry too hard. Can take it very conservatively, and this win may be his. But, again, we saw Leslie lose it earlier, and we saw him lose it. But true, that when Maddie lost it, it was in rated conditions. And when Leslie lost it, it was in a changing track, you could say. So, or a dry track. Actually, I wouldn't say it's changing. The first one was a changing track. The second one was a little up tapped by Feared by Gaming. So, yeah, things can happen. So, don't write your chickens home yet. But definitely Feared by Gaming will have to pit again, because there's no way those softs make it to the end. As now Jay Leakey has pit on 5-level softs, but I think he may have a broken wing. We'll see here if he pits for a fresh wing. No, he's not. So he's actually 5 laps in those softs. Bit odd, but is worth noting that the softs fall off that quickly. Yeah, we should see Fear by Game make the jump soon, but he is kind of gaining on 11. So, yeah, maybe he's taking those tires a little bit more conservatively. But anywho, I guess we'll keep an eye on Fear by Gaming, and we'll keep an eye on Smitty here, because Smitty is slowly reeling Excelic. So the gap is now 1.1 and closing. But with Excelic going 1 extra lap, she'll have better hards than Smitty will have. So she will have the tire advantage over Smitty at the end. 11 has gained 2 temps. Fear by Gaming has not come in, and yeah. Just kind of getting, I hate to say it, but you're just kind of waiting for something to happen. So anyway, though, as we actually started lap 18. Maddie is currently off in Sector 1 here, about to hit the end of Sector 1 here. He's still looking good, but the gap has now come down to 3 seconds. So 11 is catching. She is slowly reeling in Maddie, as now Fear by Gaming gets another 3 at 9, so any more pressure. Actually, right now, he has to worry about possibly losing the final stop of the podium right now with those pedalies and those tires, so he needs to kind of keep it chilled. I guess I'll take a quick check here to check the incident screen here. See if we're looking for Maddie here, see if he's got any warnings. Right now, he's run a pretty clean race. I don't see his name on here once. Yeah, they have run a pretty clean... there's one right there for Maddie. So Maddie has got another cut he can give before... He's got 2 more cuts before he gets the time penalty. So he can play it very conservative here. So now the gap's back up to 3-5. So 11's right now got 0. So as long as she doesn't cut anymore, she's good. But she's got 3 more cuts before she gets the time penalty. And Maddie has got 2 more warnings before he gets a penalty for 3. So he's got a lot to play for. He can, again, play it very conservatively here. If I was his engineer right now, I'd be telling him, back it up, take it conservatively here. Don't race your tires. Just play it conservative. Don't roast your tires and put yourself in a world of hurt. As now he's able to get the gap back up to 4 seconds here. So he is going a little bit faster. Maybe just 11 had a bit of a slow lap here. As now we're going to start lap 19. We got 9 to go here. And again, all play for here. Again, buckle in, because we could see tire strategy play it or not. Checking back in on tires again. As now Fear by Gaming gets another 3. Yeah, Fear by Gaming, any chance of getting the podium is gone. Even if he does stay on those tires, he's got 9. Yeah, he's going to lose that spot. And honestly, he's going to lose... If he somehow stays out on those tires, he's going to lose 4, 6. He's going to lose definitely to Exelic. He's going to lose to Smitty. He's going to lose to Collins. As, ooh, he's struggling there. Oh, he's very fighting that car. Those softs are very, very fighty there. He's definitely going to... Right now, if he doesn't pit, we do have the Alpha Sector to 3. That is going to be Assassinbot as well. Get it refired again. Just been a race to forget for Assassinbot. But back to what I was trying to say, though. Fear by Gaming is definitely going to fall down to at least 6 without a pit stop. But, yeah, worst he's going to finish at 6 is Jay Leakey is 42 seconds behind. So... he should be all right, at the very least. James, he just crossed the line, so he should be no worse than 6th. But that's probably where he's going to finish. So anyway, back to battle here again. Smitty has not really been able to reel in Exelic. So he was about a second behind, but now Exelic's kind of opened the door. And considering that, again, Smitty and Maddie are on the same set of mediums, and Exelic and 11, it's basically kind of an interesting strategy, you could say, is that both McLarens and Aston Martins are on the same strategies, as now Fear by Gaming has pitted on 8-lap-old softs. As we do have the Alpha Sector 1, that is Assassinbot again. He will go a lap down here. Luckily, Ghosting is on, so he shouldn't fear too much here, but probably should just pull out of the way anyway to make sure no too much of a fright here. Probably should just take the hard right. He will not, but again, Ghosting is on, though, so no harm, no foul, I guess you could say. He will get around, and 11 will set his sights on trying to get past Assassin as well. Fear by Gaming is definitely coming out of the pit lanes now. Yeah, definitely far ahead of Jay Leakey. Jay Leakey has just started Sector 3. Yeah, so Fear by Gaming should be alright. Gap is pretty big, so he should be okay, but he will finish no higher than 6th because of all those time penalties. 11 has now just gotten around Assassinbot. So 11 is now, but again, the gap is 3 seconds, so it seems like every time I check, she's 4 seconds and then she's 3 seconds. So it is worth noting that she's kind of closing and losing, but she has to get to Maddie, pass him, and put 6 seconds on him, which is just not doable in the remaining laps unless Maddie gets a time penalty or Maddie pits. So again, but luckily, the one thing worth noting is if anyone wins this race, that anyone that finishes this race wins this race, it will be a first-time winner, though. So we are looking for a first-time winner, at the very least here today. So we do got, again, 11 here, again, 3 behind. I'm going to check the instant screen one more time here just to see if any more warnings have popped up for either driver. So just worth noting, just to see, because that is what's kind of playing here. Fear by Gaming, multiple warnings there. 11 got 3 there. 11's got 1. Yep, so 11's now got 1, and Maddie's got 1. So Maddie's been keeping it clean ever since that warnings happened, but because it's also kind of a negative feedback loop, you could say, because if 11 does catch Maddie, she's going to have to push like a bat out of hell in order to get 6 seconds clear, and doing that, she may get another warning, so another penalty. So it's kind of a negative feedback loop. So if 11 eventually, because she is catching Maddie, if 11 catches Maddie and Maddie doesn't pit, 11 then has to get 6 seconds clear, and while doing that, may actually get another 3, so she'll have to go 9, and then trying to get 9, 12. So it's really not looking good for 11 to win this race, but now it's 2.5, 2.4, so Maddie is falling off. The tires have hit a little bit of a cliff, or he's really backing down to save his rubber. So hold the phone here yet. That gap is falling. So we'll have to see here. Other than that, back of this, it's Zelk's 12 behind. Smitty's kind of on the back as well, but it's been holding gap. Other than that, Collins is 6 back, and Feared by Gaming of Smitty, and Feared by Gaming's 4 back, but has 12 seconds, so even if he does catch, he won't gain a spot. So unless there's a late safety car. Right now, if you're a Maddie fan, you're going to want to see a safety car, because that would probably ensure the victory for Maddie, because time penalties and all, Maddie will be safe. So right now, you're the rest of the field. If you're an 11 fan, you're hoping for no safety car. If you're a Maddie fan, you're hoping for a safety car. Gap is now down to 2 seconds here. We got 6 to go. Again, she's gaining about a second a lap on Maddie, maybe half a second to a second a lap. But that's not going to be enough to gain over that time advantage. Now Collins is pitted on a set of mediums on 9 laps, so maybe that is something worth noting. Again, we'll see if he's got damage. I doubt he does, but that could be kind of what to see here. We'll see here. Yeah, no damage, so he is pitting for a set of softs. Maybe he's just going for the fast lap here to try to get some extra points here. So we'll have to see in retrospect, but it doesn't look like he's got damage. So maybe he's just going for the fast lap, knowing he's pretty far behind Smitty, trying to get an extra point here. So maybe not maybe a bit of a red herring, you could say. But now 11 is now 1.5 behind. Those tires have fallen off for Maddie. So we'll see here again if it's going to be enough. I feel like he's going to get passed on track. The question mark of the day is he'll get passed on track. The question mark is, can 11 get far enough away for that penalty to be negated? Or will Maddie get another 3 and make the gap 3 and make it a little bit easier? Here comes 11, going as hard as she can. Oh, if you're not strapped in yet, we're going to see this. Is going to be interesting with 6 to go. Coming to 5. Still all to play for. This is going to be a fun one. I keep using my cinnamon book. This is going to be interesting, folks. And here we go here. We're going to start with 5 to go here. Gap is down to 1.4, so she's actually getting about half a second a lap. 5 to go. If the calculations are correct, she should probably be in DRS range on the at the end of start of Sector 2 there. She should be in DRS range. 1.2, 1.1, yep, she is now in DRS range, so she will have DRS. Checking telemetry, she only has 6% left. Maddie has 56, though, so Maddie should be faster on the straights. Here comes 11. Going to get as close as he can. Going to get a good exit. Ooh, gets a little bit of a tank slapper there. Not going to be enough to keep up close. It's not going to affect her entry too much, but she still should get DRS, but I don't think it's going to be enough to make a pass. 9 seconds. Zal gets 3 for multiple warnings. That's kind of not really much to report here because, well, it would probably mean that right now Zal could lose the last step of the podium. Here comes 11. Could it be enough? Yellow flag sector 2. That is going to be Assassin Bot here. Looked like it was possibly up there in that 3-4 battle, but it's not. Assassin Bot's lost back in again. 5 seconds. Not 5 seconds. Half a second to the leader. I doubt 11 will make a pass here, but looking good to make a pass on lap 24. So we'll see here again. Just getting close again. Buying her time. Has to make the pass quickly, though, because of time penalties, but also doesn't want to risk a penalty here. So, again, double-edged sword. Make it quickly, but don't make it aggressively that you screw yourself. So here comes 11. Going to tuck in line. Again, pass should be happening here. I believe if DRS is open this time by, will be enough. If the gap is out half a second, looks like the better exit for Maddie. Going to get a long run down the straight. 5 attempts, 4 attempts, 3 attempts. 2 attempts. Is it going to be enough? Inside covered by Maddie. Now going outside. Not going to be enough. 11's going to tuck back in line. Back in the backpack. We'll cut back. Actually, we'll keep riding more here because I don't want to cut back because this is the battle for the lead, but not the win. Here comes 11. Going to tuck in line. Will have enough to get in this corner. No, she will not. Goes a little bit wide. Maddie going to have the advantage. Again, 11 did get a bit of a tank slapper here last quarter. Has to try to get as much time as she can. Going to keep it relatively straight here, but it'll be about the same gap again. 6/10. A little bit closer than last time. Going to use the ERS 19 battle. Maddie's got 66, but Maddie's going to have more oof down the straight. Here comes 11. Not using much of the slipstream here. Going to try to hang it around the outside. Going to have at least going to be side by side going into the corner. Is it going to be enough? Can 11 hang it? Can she make the pass? They're going to be side by side going into the corner here. 11 going to go a little bit wide, and 11's going to make the pass for the lead. So 11 has taken over the lead. Maddie in second, but 11 now has to get 6 seconds clear of Maddie, or 3 if Maddie gets a time penalty. So it's 11 has to push with 4 to go. It's not looking pretty, but 11 has to gain 6 seconds in 4 laps, so she's going to have to gain about 1.5 seconds a lap, or hope Maddie's tires fall off a cliff. Back in the pattern, StatSpot gets refolded warnings, but it looks like Maddie could have an answer back here. Just to quickly report in the back here, Smitty's 2.2 behind Exelic. If Exelic can get another 8 attempts clear, she'll get the last step of the podium. 11, going to be well out of DRS range here. Well, not still in DRS range, but well over a second clear. So 11 is going to be not going to be a pass back by Maddie. Maddie just going to hang on here. 1 second so far, 5 more to go, and this is 11's win. But it looks like with DRS, Maddie's going to be able to stay in tuck and line. 11 has to break DRS quickly here, or else that will be her main kryptonite. But it doesn't look like she got a good enough exit off the straight. Maddie, still pulling relatively clean here. It's the activation point is right here, I believe. It's coming up. 11 has to get a good exit here. It is not going to be enough. Actually, I think she's within a second now. Yes, she is. So no DRS for Maddie. So now there was the activation point right there. So Maddie, 1.1 behind. Not going to be enough to tuck in line, but he'll use some of his DRS to stay close. 5 seconds to go in 2 laps. I just don't think it's possible unless Maddie cuts. If I'm Maddie's engineer right now, I'm telling him, play it conservatively. Do not risk a cut. Let 11 go. Just tuck in line, but there is that driver's code where you want to fight on track. You want to battle. You want to win on circuit. And Maddie could shoot himself in the foot if he gets 3 from multiple warnings. Again, quickly to check one more time. I'm cutting this last time I cut the incident screen just to see if he's got anything left. Just going to quickly kind of slide through the field here real fast. I do not see his name pop up one time here. So he is looking good, per se. No real warning of cutting. So 11 has to push, and has to push now. But with Maddie still within DRS range, it's not looking good. Tire, just quickly again to check the tires. That's the leader, my mistake. Those are pedalies. That's the tires. It's 14-lap-old mediums. Theory says they should be good, but I don't think they're going to cliff that bad. But we'll have to see. 2 laps to go here. 11 leads the race, but Maddie leads it on track. Yellow flag sector is StatSpot around, not even going to cut to him. Maddie still hanging tough, using what he's got to stay close. I guess one more question here is, if you're 11, do you try to back it down a little bit and maybe cause Maddie to push a little bit harder in order to get a penalty? It's not the smartest strategy, but you're not going to get 6 hits clear in 1.5 laps. So maybe force him to make mistakes. Now, StatSpot's pitting on 13-lap meetings, but again, probably just pitting for a go for the fast lap here. So no real red herring here. So it looks like, again, 11 in DRS range. Not going to be enough for Maddie to get close enough, but that's probably what he wants to see. Back in the pack here, Exelic, just to check the penalties, Exelic needs to get 7 tenths clear of Smitty, or else the podium will be right now as they run, it will be Maddie winning this race, 11 in second, and Smitty in third, with Exelic in fourth. So we'll have to see here, again, if it's enough to note, as we're going to come around for the final lap of the race. Is it going to be enough? Will the tires fall off? Will there be a puncture? Or will there be enough that Maddie will be able to hold on and get his first win in CWC and basically come close to catching Kenobi in the point standings? Looks like Maddie's definitely, if he's got tire wear, it's not anywhere close to enough. So here we come. Final lap here. All the play for, all the loss. Which of these drivers will get their first victory here in CWC? So again, not enough. Maddie tucking in behind, but just not enough to make something happen here. Again, 11, 6 seconds, 6 tenths clear, but not gaining enough. End of Sector 1. Maddie's still looking good. Back in the pack, though, it looks like Exelic's almost 3 seconds clear. So is it going to be enough that the Aston Martin girls can get just ahead of get the max points stay here for Aston Martin. But here we come. Oh, not max points stay, but a podium lockout, you could say. 1, 2, 3. But here they come. Coming down the last straight here. It's just not going to be enough. Maddie is going to just tuck in back in line. 5 attempts clear. Going to tuck back in line using all the ERS he's got left to stay close. And it looks like bearing a puncture. This is Maddie's race to win. And the Sector 2 here. Maddie still within 5 attempts. Back in the pack. Smitty 2.5 behind, but under pressure by Feared by Gaming. Right now, Excelic's best friend could be Feared by Gaming if he puts some pressure on the McLaren. Back to the battle here. Coming for the last couple corners here. Maddie gets multiple 3 for multiple warnings. That's going to be enough, but not enough to gain enough gap. 11's probably kicking herself for getting another 3 there, because this could have been her win with that mistake. But coming through the last couple corners here, 11 holding strong, coming through the last 2, but it's not going to be enough, as she's going to come off the last corner here, and she will win the race on circuit. But it's not going to be enough, as Maddie is going to win this race, and he will get his McLaren and get his first win in CWC. 11 will come home in second. Strong performance by the Aston Martin driver. Really first strong performance she's had all season. Excelic gonna come home in third. Maybe it's gonna be close. Can Maddie get enough of a tow? It looks like it's gonna be too little too late, and it's going to be Excelic coming home in third, and it looks like Smitty is going to be just ahead of Excelic by 18th 1,000th of a second. Smitty gonna come home in third, Excelic fourth. Feared by Gaming, I think, ran out of fuel at the line, gonna come home in fifth, and that is how close it was. It looked like Excelic was gonna have that step on the podium, get a third podium in a row, or second, I would say, but not gonna be enough. Smitty gonna round out the podium. McLaren boys 1-3 with 11 getting a second. Feared by Gaming gonna come in fifth, but Collins is actually not gonna be able to jump him. So Feared by Gaming 5th, Collins 6th, and now we wait for Jay Leakey and Assassinbot to finish up here and make a strong performance. Don't go anywhere. There will be some pre-race interviews, well, post-race interviews. Hopefully we can get some drivers in here. I'm going to let the chat know real fast. Top 3. So that was a very interesting race here today. Very exciting near the end there. Looked like it was almost going to be chaotic. Does look like, again, it's just a situation where, again, strategy just almost worked out. But Maddie's able to hang on, almost, you could say, choked it away. But luckily, because of the extra 30, he will take the top step and will close in the gap on Kenobi. But it will not be enough. Looking at the points right now, even with a max point stay here, 25 points, I think he's got a max point stay. We'll see here. All British lockout, though. But yeah, looking at the quick points here, gotta wait till we see who got the fast lap here as Maddie has joined the party. We'll do a quick rundown of standings, and then we will get to interviews. So hold on tight there for a second, Maddie and Smitty, two McLaren boys. But yeah, just to quickly wrap up the final results here, and there's 11. But yeah, rounding up the final standings here today, Maddie wins the race here, 11 seconds, Smitty 3rd, Excelic 4th, Feared by Gaming 5th, Collins 6th, Jay Leakey 7th, Assassinbot 8th, Jay Leslie Twig 9th, and Nelson 10th, with top 2, 9th, 10th not getting points, with the fast lap of the race going to Collins, so 25 points for Maddie, not going to be enough to overtake Kenobi in the standings, but definitely going to put him firmly in second. So thank you, you three, for joining us here in the booth here today, and I guess we'll start off with a third place finish. Smitty, can you hear me?
I can. Hi, Pepsi.
Welcome back to the booth after last week. Again, I know the main thing I will ask, but we'll first start off with, I guess, with the race starting. I guess we'll start off with the qualifying being dry and the race being wet. How did you feel going into the race? Like, because you knew it was probably going to dry out by the end, but did you set your car up for more to take advantage of the first half of the race or the second half of the race?
I made a mistake. I set a wet setup. So my qualifying pace was terrible, and then I didn't really have any extra pace in the rain. Whatever setup I put, it didn't work, so I had no top line speed. And then once it went dry, I was just clinging on for dear life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know some drivers go wet, some go dry, so it did look like you were kind of struggling a little bit in those wet conditions, but it did look like you were doing okay at the very least. I guess the second question I do have here today is that with the when the pit stops came out in the intermediate tires and the safety car came out, how are you feeling with the track changing conditions, I guess? Did you feel like you were getting a little bit faster, or when it went from intermediates to softs, did you feel like you were getting more rubbered in, or did you feel like it was a situation where you were just kind of going with the punches?
Could feel it drying up, could feel it getting a lot grippier, and felt pretty comfortable in the car. Hence why I ran the mediums longer, because the grip felt fine. I just the whole time bemoaning my setup because I had no straight line speed. But yeah, I was pretty pleased with when the safety car came out, because it let me and Matt double box, so I didn't lose out too much time there, so that was good.
That is good to hear. And I guess the last question I do have here is that you were kind of in a dogfight with Excelic to the very end there, and it looked like at the tooth of the nail with Feared by Gaming passing you, you were just going to lose out on that last step of the podium, but you were able to get within 0.18 of a second. You were able just to get ahead of Excelic. So when crossing the line, how did you feel like looked like you probably think you were going to have fourth and then got third at the very end?
Yeah, I had no idea. I felt like I just kept enough of a gap. And then Feared by Gaming came up, and obviously he went for the pass, which he has every right to do because it's racing and he wants to win on the track. But it cost me some time because obviously I was out of shape, and then I thought the podium had gone. But then I got the DRS off the back of him, which kind of helped drag me up. And yeah, I guess what was it, 18 hundredths?
Yeah, it was 0.018. So you were very close indeed. That could have went either way.
Amazing on the last race from Excelic. That was neck and neck for about.
Yeah, you see some good respect. I keep I want to say something, you want to say something. Yeah, I could see some good respect in the chat there. But yeah, very close indeed. And good to see good respect and drive between the two of them. That's what you'd like to see in CWC. But again, thank you. Actually, I'll say one more. Now with you two having such a strong finish in the McLarens here today, how do you feel with your chances in the Constructors? Do you think this is all set sails ahead, or do you think anyone can catch you in the Constructors?
I think it's too early to say. I think anyone could catch us because it's too early. We've still got, what was this, race 5? And I think we've got 19 now.
5 out of 19. Still a long way to go.
Portimao in, so long way to go, but obviously much prefer to be at the front at this stage than anywhere else, and yeah, feeling confident.
Okay, well, thank you for joining me here today, Smitty, and hopefully maybe we'll see you here next week, or maybe not. We'll have to see, but thank you for joining me.
So, cheers, Pepsi.
So next up, we will move to someone I have not actually seen in this booth yet. 11, can you hear me?
I can.
Good to hear from you. First time I've seen you. First time I heard your voice. But again, you had a pretty strong performance today, so we will ask you a couple questions. So I guess first off here, you had a pretty strong qualifying. You seemed pretty rubbered in for France. But with it becoming a wet session at the beginning, I'll ask you the same question. Did you feel like you were going to be stronger in the wet, or when it was going to become dry?
Honestly, it being a wet race was kind of dreading it because I only had a dry setup, so I was like, oh god. But it turned out all right.
That it did. Second question would be is that when the intermediate change happened, you and Excelic stayed out, and along with Lesty, and everyone else pitted. So were you kind of fearing that you were going to get kind of jumped, or did you think that, all right, I'm still probably going to come out second, second you did. So do you feel comfortable you're going to come out in second, or did you kind of worry that you were going to lose some time because of the safety coming out at probably the worst time?
Yeah, I think that, we just wanted to see what other people were doing, so we made sure to get the right strategy, but we kind of knew that either way we'd work it out all right, that we'd not be miles behind at least.
Third question would be is, again, when the dry session was occurring, you were doing pretty strong, and you went on a set of hards while Matty was on a set of mediums. So were you kind of kicking yourself maybe you didn't go on the set of mediums, or was that all the strategy along to go on a set of hards? Because it did look like the mediums would have made it. But do you feel comfortable in your choice of going on a set of hards?
Yeah, I do. I think that I didn't really want to risk going on mediums. I didn't know how they would be on that track because I haven't tried them in practice or anything. So I knew that hards would be able to make it to the end and that they'd be reliable enough without having to worry about tire wear and stuff. So
it was the more conservative strategy, and if you didn't have the time pedals, you probably would have made it. But sadly, because of the time pedals, you did kind of make that mistake, and that happened. But I guess the last question here, today is, I don't want to end on a downer note, but I do want to ask, with those time penalties, were you kind of, I know you were kicking yourself, but did you think, because you probably wouldn't have made, even if you had 3, sadly, actually, if you got 3, because Maddie did get a time penalty at the very last second. So my question is, do you kind of have a little bit of a regret of how you drove, or do you kind of wish you maybe backed it up, or did you have to push to stay close to Maddie, and you just had to take the risk?
I think that I definitely did make some mistakes. I overtook the safety car in a really stupid way and got myself a warning and stuff. I did make some just flaws that caused me to get penalties, and it is irritating really that I missed out on P1, but everyone drove brilliantly, so. I can settle for P2.
Yeah, no, especially considering, at the start of the season you had, that's definitely good to see you on the podium, and it's definitely good. So definitely something you could use as momentum, as you did seem really rubbered in here at France. So it definitely could be a sign of things to come. So maybe a driver to watch out for. But thank you for joining me here today, Levin. And hopefully, again, we see you here maybe possibly again next week.
Hopefully so.
All right, and now we'll move on to our race winner, Maddie. So Maddie, can you hear me?
I can indeed.
I've asked the same question the first two, so I'll ask the same one to you two as well. With the changing from a dry qualifying to a wet race, were you feeling stronger in the first half of the race with the wet conditions, or were you feeling like the dry conditions where you were aiming for?
I felt quite strong in the wet until I span off. I felt like the pace was going well, and then I made that mistake at the start, and I thought I was going to be in trouble. So the safety car sort of saved me. But I felt it's a track that I know a lot of people don't like. I feel fairly comfortable with, so I was relatively okay with it.
Mm-hmm. I guess the second question I do have is after that spin, but I guess my next question is with Lesty coming into kind of blows with Feared by Gaming in the back, when he retired, what was kind of going through your head? Did you feel like that's a main competitor gone and you felt a little bit more at ease, or do you still think the rest of the field's still here, I can't relax my morals?
Was there a crash up front that caused the retirement?
Basically, he spun at first, and that's what got you at 11 by, and then he lightly touched. He was basically on the inside, Feared by Gaming. They touched kind of wheels and side pods. He got sent to the inside, and he hit the inside wall off, I think, 6 or 7, and that caused his wheel to fall off. So
okay. When Lesty spun out, I thought this was my shot. Based on form this year, I thought if I didn't make a mistake, I should be able to win, but I was really impressed. 11 had really good pace hits there. I was surprised with how quick she was. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I thought I knew that I'd be okay with that with the penalty situation, but if it was on track, so she won on track, so fair play. But I knew I could sort of be a bit more conservative with the penalty situations it was.
Mm-hmm. Third question is that you won a set of mediums and 11 won a set of hards. It looked like if you were both on equal penalties, the hards would have made out in the end. But did you feel like, did you kind of play the mediums as maybe like you wanted to go for a push, or did you think the mediums were actually going to make it?
No, so I put the mediums on first of all because the forecast said there might be rain at the end, so I didn't know if there'd be another change. Mm-hmm. And I also thought, because I was in third at the time, I thought I need to try something to get past, potentially have the pace advantage at the start and try and hold it at the end. But I think the hards would definitely, if it was going to go the whole way to the end, they would have been the better tyre for the whole stint.
Mm-hmm. We did see that near the end, and we're actually stronger, so that was the start choice. But Smitty was... So I guess my next question is, what were your tire wear at the end, like 60%, 70%?
Yeah,
you know offhand?
64, 65, something in there.
So yeah, you were close to puncture, but not there yet. So a couple more laps in this race would have been probably a different story, so that is good to see. And I guess the last question is, now you're about, if my math is correct, everything holding out, you're about 4 to 5 points behind Kenobi for top stop on the lead. Still a long way to go. But with your recent form being in Canada and Spain, having strong performances, how are you feeling with the rest of the season? Do you think you can have a championship push here, or...?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I wasn't expecting as much. I think I found the 2021 game quite a lot more comfortable than the last year's game. I know Will's obviously quick. I think Will's a bit more the consistent driver. He doesn't make as many mistakes. But if I can sort of cut some of those out, I think it could be a good fight right the way to the end.
Well, yeah, you guys can't throw out Lest here as well. He's pretty fast as well. We got a couple drivers in this field as well. Even Scanny. If Scanny can get consistent as well, that's probably 4 drivers right there. But yeah, actually, you did kind of show, like, just to add to a point, you did kind of show that you were not making as much mistakes as you only got your first corner cutting penalty on the last lap in the last couple corners because honestly,
I knew at that point there was a bit more freedom.
Yeah, because no one else in the field everyone else got 3s, 6s, 9s, so you were the only driver to kind of keep clean to the end, so it does show that you at least are able to keep your mistakes to a minimum. So yeah, but regardless, thank you for joining me here today, Maddie. Again, good win, first CWC win if I'm not mistaken, and hopefully again we see you here next week.
Hopefully so. Have a good evening.
Good for you too as well. And that will be pretty much that. Next week, next Monday, 8 p.m. BST, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is going to be the CWC race at Austria. And then there'll be a 1-week break. And then, as he said, we'll be going to, I think Smitty said, we'll be going to Portugal after that. So mark your calendars. It will probably be good entertaining racing at Austria because that is going to be very close and very argy-bargy indeed. And hopefully we see some more fun racing like we did here today. But until then, I am PepsiFreak212. I am signing off. So thank you and good night.